It's because I was excited.
It's kind of...
I hadn't had anybody to talk to about this kind of stuff in forever, and now I finally had somebody that I remembered from, you know,
way back.
Was
Holy
fandom
shit.
tolerant.
Yeah.
So I kind of went apeshit.
It was kind of like watching, you know how you're on the other side of the screen, and somewhere across the world you got your sister-in-law who's sitting there and she's waving at you on the webcam, and then her 4-year-old comes on and finds the buzz button on the Yahoo thing and starts clicking it rapidly. That's what this was. That's utter buzz rape. That's what this was.
I messaged her so much. I sent her all my fan art, sent her all my story, and I was like, oh my god, you gotta see him, you gotta read my story.
And while she's telling me this, I'm on World of Warcraft, and I don't have full screen. I do keep it in a little screen because I like to keep in touch with everybody. But you get this blinking behind the screen while I'm trying to stay alive. I've got like 14 HP, and I'm like, stop. I love you, but please stop.
Stop!
And then I die. And then I go, thanks, Hannah, you made me die. And she's like, I'm sorry. Spam, 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 spam.
I'm sorry, lol, you mad? It was my intention all along. No, I don't think that far ahead at all.
Anyway, continue.
Well, that's really about all I got. I mean, then
it kind of went from there.
Then I dragged you in, and after I dragged you in,
and then I decided to take over. But
I mean, once we started role playing, for me, it's over. I'm in.
Once you get both of us together, even though the only other previous time was Foster's and Narnia.
Oh Jesus! You guys don't even understand. That was a crossover. That was a crossover between Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and Narnia, and it rocked the face.
Now, when I had you guys witnessed...
Oh, no!
What are you talking about?
Oh, no!
Okay.
You spilled.
Wow, a little bit. I
wet.
think you'll survive. Sit
wet.
back, you're my pillow. Pillows don't talk.
It's wet.
Pillows don't talk. Anyway, when had you guys witnessed us when we were doing Foster's and Narnia... You probably would have learned real fast. It's kind of like those memes on DeviantArt. When somebody starts something, you know not to stop them, or you know not to do it ever again. Had you guys witnessed us doing the Foster's Narnia roleplay, you would have probably said afterwards, if Hannah would have suggested, hey, let's do a 9 fandom, let's do a 9 roleplay together, you guys would have probably been like, no, quick, lock them away. It's kind of like putting arsenic in a bottle and waiting for it to explode or somebody to just chug it.
Okay,
it was kind of that bad.
Let me explain.
You could not separate us.
The first role play we ever had was Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
It was very
It crossed over into
Narnia,
and then we actually had X-Men characters in it by the end of it. I had fucking.
We did. We had Nightcrawler.
I had Nightcrawler because I love Nightcrawler.
I completely forgot about that.
I randomly tossed him in there. It was kind of amazing. And
it worked. It really did work when you actually go back and read it. As derp as it was,
we knocked over again. Move it.
Okay, look, your fat ass needs to stop touching shit.
You need to move shit so it's not. Ow! It's my foot.
No shit. How do you think that cup feels? It can't really scream ow, ow, ow. Anyway, so you kind of got stop. If you make my monitor fall, I will kill you.
Okay. Oh, still. There you go.
Anyway, I mean, because you know I kick, you dumbass.
I know, I'm sorry. I forgot when I started doing
God, I see Lewis doing that and Crawford just like nailing him in the face.
He would.
In the
optic. Are you kidding
me?
In
the optic, yes. But anyway, you guys kind of figure, don't get us together on this. So it was kind of all over when we found the time to start talking again. If we didn't have time, we fucking made time, and there goes a bitty on your foot.
I don't care. She
but
can pick my feet if she wants.
For me, with the 9 fandom, I'll be honest, I never saw 9 in theaters. I saw Tim Burton. I saw the trailer online, because online, I haven't watched TV in a long time. I don't bother, and it's mostly because my parents watch it, or my uncle would watch it. I would stay in my room and watch Hulu or all that fun stuff. But, I never saw it in theaters, ever. I really wanted it to come to my town, but I was, at that point, I was nowhere near a Regal Theater. At that point, it would take 30 minutes. And my dad wasn't able to ever actually take me, so I was really hoping it would come to the small theater, but it never did. So I figured, it's okay. Wait till the movie comes out on DVD. Watch it, or hell, just pirate the movie. And it just kind of left my mind after that. And Chibs, she would talk to me, because I would talk to her about Transformers. And Transformers was kind of the last real big fangirly thing, and it wasn't even fangirly. It was one of those collectors kind of obsessions in a way. And Chibs was talking to me how she was in 9. She was designing these 9 characters. And she's like, have you seen the movie yet? And I was like, I haven't seen the movie yet. And she had sent me a link to the Russian version, and she was telling me how it was different. And she sent me the English version, and they were really fuzzy. But I kind of just wasn't interested because I was like, I'm waiting for a better quality.
The Russian version is amazing if you haven't seen it, and I really had to find a link for that again.
And I mean, I just wasn't interested in it because I was like, I'm into Transformers. I have this thing when I'm in a fandom, I don't want to get into anything else.
Unless we're doing Fosters and Narnia together.
Well, yeah, but at that point, Narnia was before we had even done the Fosters bit. We were both fans of Narnia, but we just never addressed it at first. But I mean, like, with Transformers, I didn't want anything to come between me and the Transformers. I liked
9 right now.
Yeah, I don't want another fandom because I know once I see something I do like, I get the ideas, and then the ideas start flowing, and then I kind of go from there. And I'm not one of those people that can hold a lot of fandoms at once. The most I've ever done was Pokemon, Fosters, and Narnia, and X-Men all at once, and that was hard to keep up with. But so I was like, I'm just kind of not interested. And then I saw Icy Blue sign on. I was like, oh my god, I remember her! And so I started talking to her again, and I got the spamming of my fucking life. And then she's like, have you seen it? You know, after 45 links, have you seen it?
And it's kind of funny, too, because, like, at this point in time, I finally got, at some point I settled down enough to explain to her what happened to me in my past few years of my life.
And that was all I was interested in.
My best friend had dropped out on me. My husband was kind of ignoring me. At this point in time, my roommate and I really didn't have much in common. We had some stuff in common, but we didn't really, it's complicated. He's more interested in what he's interested in, let's put it that way. And we talk, but it's more just a bitch about things. It's like girls bitching about things.
So, I mean...
So, at some point she goes, so you're kind of like hanging on to me like I'm going to disappear at this point, aren't you? And I'm like, yes!
Yes, she pretty much was. And I was like, we were just talking like 20 minutes ago. Oh, I'm sorry, you were spamming me for 20 minutes. All right, continue. Now that I know your life story, go ahead, spam me all you want. And I was like, I'll be another support because I really wouldn't care. And I was like, I finally found somebody I don't mind spamming me and talking to me, as annoying as it was. But
see, I'm annoying
she went all out, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, Bradbury. And I'm like, okay, Lewis, Carroll. And, you know, every so often I would pipe in, I'm like, so wait a minute, these two are named after Lewis Carroll? And she's like, oh, I didn't think about that. I was thinking about C.S. Lewis. And I was like, oh, you could just use Lewis Carroll. I'm going to name you Carroll and you Lewis. I was like, okay. And, you know, every so often, I just let her talk. And I was just kind of in my own little Warcraft world here. And, you know, dying because I get these bursts of Hemingway and Tolstoy. Should I name this one Sir Conan Doyle or this? Or wait a minute! I didn't even think about these authors! Ah!
The original design for Hemingway, he was going to be Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
You were going to have 2 others.
He was going to have a pith helmet and a mustache.
My God.
Dickens wasn't supposed to be Dickens originally, I don't think. Originally, Christian went by the name Anderson until I decided to make her a girl, and she went by Christian.
You had a name that I really liked, and I can't remember it for the life of me now. But it was
authors?
Yeah, it was another popular author.
I never considered Tolkien, which was really funny. I loved Tolkien's books, but I didn't consider him classic enough.
Tolkien, Rowling, all that. But I mean, she just kept going.
I would not stop.
She did not stop at all. And eventually I was like, okay, because I figured, you know what, I'm bored. I didn't want to play Warcraft anymore. I died way too many times. And when you die too many times in Warcraft, you can have all the budding potential you want, Insane Alchemist. You are going to get off that game. So I finally got off. And I was like, okay, give me a link. I'll watch this movie with you. This was something we had also started back then. A lot of people kind of found it derp to put in song lyrics in role plays because, let's face it, you're not listening to the same song at the same time. And
though we do.
And we did that back then. And we also...
She would send me the song, and then we would have them do karaoke.
And we would do it. And so it worked. And we figured we can do it with song. Let's do it with movie. So also back then, when we were watching movies, I would send her the link to the movie.
Well, no, we didn't do it back then. We didn't start this until recently. Actually.
We didn't start until recently, but we had the idea.
Yeah, it was just that my computer I was using dial-up back then.
Yeah, and so
when she was sending me a song, it would take 5
hours
to download.
Oh my god.
So it was so
It was
funny.
amazing, but once you got it, it was like, oh, this is going to go well. Da, 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 da. But anyway, we had this idea that I'm going to send you a link to a movie, and then we'll sit there and we'll watch it, and we'll time it exactly. Hit play when I say play, and we'll hit it, and we'll go. And a lot of people do this. I'm sure plenty of you guys have, but we did this a lot. We did it a lot with the Stitch Punks and the role play.
Which is kind of amazing,
okay. Pillows don't bounce.
As you.
Bounce your other leg.
I'm sorry.
Bounce your other leg.
On.
I know, but
Juilliard music is on.
Bounce your other leg. Okay.
It's not my dominant leg though. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work. I don't care. Anyway.
Bitch.
She's focused on that bag. She's like staring that bag down like it's death in a box.
Our cat is attacking Arby's bag again. It's amazing.
I say death in a box, and all I can see is 725 popping out of that Arby's bag. And making that sound. But anyway.
Daggett from
yes, Angry Beavers. But oh my god, that should be he should be 725's voice actor.
No, 725 already has a voice actor.
Oh.
Peter Lorre?
Well, no, it should be Daggett because Daggett's also Invader Zim.
Oh Jesus.
Yes, but anyway, that's how I see him in my head anyway. But anyway, I was like, okay, I'm bored.
Clearly
let's watch this movie.
We need a link for his voice actor.
So we watched. I watched this movie. Now I'm not watching this in theaters or anything. I'm not watching it in DVD quality. This is really fuzzy quality, so I'm not picking up on a lot of things that I picked up later once I got the DVD.
Buckles. One's buckles. You didn't know he had buckles. You found any buckles.
I had no idea one had buckles. That's how fuzzy this movie was. But I watched it because I was like, it's still decent quality, and I can still watch it, and I can make sense of it. So I watched it, and I was like, this is actually kind of cool. And it wasn't like I was fangirling over it every 5 seconds every time something came into play. And once 2 died.
I didn't either in the movie. I mean.
Yeah, but I can tell you one thing. Once 2 died, just the sheer shock of it.
I know.
I was like, wait a minute. And I had to double check the time of the movie.
I was pissed.
And I looked at it, and I was like, holy shit, that was way too early. What the hell just happened? And so I just kept watching it, and I was like, oh, he's dead.
I think you even asked me, does he die this early?
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, is he dead? And so...
Like dead? Like really
dead? Like, I was screaming in caps at her, is he dead? And you only see the guy for like a couple of seconds even.
And he makes such an impression.
Yeah. And I mean, after the second one died, I was like, wait a minute, does everybody in this movie die? And she kept laughing. She wouldn't tell me. So I kept watching, and I kept saying, does this one die?
Because
this one dies.
I knew if I told you, you probably would stop, because my sister does that. My sister guesses the end of a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Not always, but sometimes she'll just stop watching, and I'm like, stop! No! Watch the rest of the movie, because even though you guessed it, you have to see how it shows.
Okay, have a seizure. But anyway, nobody cares. Your sister is odd in a lot of ways.
But she's amazing.
This is true.
She's an amazing Buddhist mama with babies, little Japanese babies.
Okay. Anyway, so we're watching this movie, and I'm just like, okay, everybody dies in this movie, da-da-da. And I'm thinking, 1 is a fucking jackass, and 8, you're a douche. And Chips had always told me how much he hates 1, how much he hates 8. And these guys turn out to be my favorite characters in the whole movie.
Yeah. And one thing, by the way, guys, when my nephews and nieces watch this movie for the first time with me, first of all, I told their parents it might be kind of scary for them. My youngest niece is watching this, and she goes, this movie isn't scary, this movie's sad. And then later on, my nephews are going, and they were talking, when 9 goes to save 1, they're going, no, leave him behind, let him die. And I'm sitting here laughing my ass off, just because these kids are chanting for 1/8's deaths.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was kind of like, okay, so I got the stereotype of every 9 fan. 9, you're a douchebag, you just killed everybody. 1, you're a douchebag, you just bossed around everybody. 8, you're just dumb. And 2, you died too early. The twins, you're adorable. I love twins, but the flickering thing has got to stop.
I love the
and
flickering thing. It's
5 at the time was my favorite, and 6, the minute I saw 6, I was like, oh, he's autistic. That's the first thing that hit my brain, because I'm really interested in autistic people, and I actually have a couple of friends who are autistic.
And I have a nephew that's autistic. So
yeah, and so the minute I saw 6 and I watched him a little bit, I was like, he's autistic.